Hello, everyone, and welcome to SOCS episode 47, I think. I'm Olivia,
I'm Sydney.
I'm Skylar.
and today we thought we'd change it up a little bit and we're always real on here, but we thought we'd be even realer. Disclaimer, if anything sounds too negative or like we're hating or anything, this is not hating, this is purely just opinion, and we're just having fun, having a round table, per usual. But we just wanted to put that out there because we're a positive space, a non-judgment, well, a little judgmental but not too judgmental space.
Yeah. But the point is, we really want to have fun with this episode and just give you our unfiltered opinions of whatever we're watching, whatever reactions, whatever conversations we're having. But at the same time, like, we're usually very, very honest anyways. Like, I always tell you guys, like, I can respect a song even if it's not my personal taste. But yeah, this one should be really fun because we're going to try and give the most Sydney, Olivia, and Skylar opinions and thoughts as we can.
And I also wanted to share that after 3 months, over 100 days, I got "Don't Fight the Feeling" finally.
Damn, not 100 days.
I went and Googled it.
Not her knowing the days, though.
I Googled how many days since June 7th. It was like 105. It was like, Jesus, SM Global Shop. Do not pre-order from there. Sorry. I'm sure everything else is fine, but pre-ordering, not so much. I also was like, oh, I'm gonna take an album break for a little bit. Then I was like, psych, I'm gonna get Key's album. It looks so good.
No, the concept for this album looks amazing. I'm very excited for it.
Yes. Oh my
Has
god.
it come out already?
It's coming out on the 27th. So drop them album deets, SM. I need to know which photo book version I'm gonna get. Okay, so Sid, do you want to start us off with the airport situation?
Oh, the army discourse?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so any army that's on Twitter already knows how, like, it's always a thing when BTS goes to airports, like their fashion, la la la, we love to see it, great stuff. But obviously there's also that really negative other side to the situation where people are very excited, clearly, about, them traveling again. And so hundreds, I wouldn't say hundreds, thousands, but definitely hundreds or thousands, I would probably say thousands of people came to greet them at JFK after they landed. Now, usually I think a lot of people expect this, but like, I know that some companies or like some celebrities in Asia will release their flight information so that, for publicity and so fans can greet them. However, Hybe is not one of the companies that does this. They usually do not release any flight information other than just informing the public they will be traveling on such and such day. They don't give away flight details or anything like that. And they don't give away the time that they're landing in whatever destination they're going to. So, a lot of people, and I would say a big contributor to this was one of the most infamous Twitter accounts on Army Twitter. I won't name who, but like,
I don't know who it is. I'm just laughing.
Yeah, like I won't just because I'm not going to blow up anyone's spot, but they mentioned that it's public record and that you can access flight information to track flights, including when they land, and then gave that information to their thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of followers on Twitter. And of course, that spread around, and I'm sure people came not only from New York, but from other states as well to see the boys in the airport. Now, they are freshly vaccinated, one. They were double masked up, and I think it's just very disrespectful, especially in this specific situation when we're in an international pandemic. Our country is not doing what it takes to, like, all that it should to prevent the spread of COVID. And they clearly are here not as idols, but as ambassadors and envoys of Korea. So I understand that you love them, but there's a lack of respect and boundaries of privacy that have been like completely ignored in this situation. And just because something isn't illegal doesn't necessarily mean that it's okay or right to do. Like, just because they're public records doesn't mean you should be tracking people's flights simply to follow them. That's still stalking. So, like, yeah, I think people are like, oh, it's harmless. They expect us to do this. Like, no, you're a stalker. Like,
yeah,
it's not harmless, especially long flights like that are tiring anyways. No matter how comfortable your seating is, no matter what class you're sitting in, a 14-hour flight is not fun. Like, and also the fact that they're not here for a concert, they're not here to perform, they're here to be ambassadors for their country. We should treat them like diplomats and with respect. They're traveling with diplomatic passports. So yeah, I just feel like people need to realize your place as a fan and as a person in the middle of a pandemic to not do these things.
I know, and like Korea, even like they're taking the pandemic way more seriously than America is, and so if you ever want idols to feel safe coming back to this country ever for a concert, be respectful. Don't be freaking gross and like up in their space. I saw Yoongi like pushing someone off of him. Like they were like
really
touching. They were like touching. Like it was like it looked like one of those clips you saw like Beatlemania where they're like jumping on the cars and shit. Which I mean we've seen fans do for centuries, and every time. Well, that's actually not centuries, but decades, and we're like, please stop. Like it's scary. What I mean?
And like it's not like they haven't voiced these opinions before. Like people brought up, like some of you haven't watched their documentary and it shows, because there are scenes in there where they're like, oh, the paparazzi's following us. And like Hobie's openly said like, yeah, sometimes stuff like that really scares me. Or like situations where Tay's gone on live and he's like, if we're on a flight and you like buy tickets purposely to sit near us or next to us, he's like, I just want you to know that it makes me personally like very uncomfortable. Like they've come forward and said these things. So for you to be like, well, that doesn't include me. They love me because I'm a fan and like I'm just here to support them. Sometimes your best intention isn't what's best for other people. And there is a line that exists that you should just not cross. And I think one of them is like, it's weird that you even thought like flights are public record. I can get this information, therefore I can do this thing. Like that's not how morality works. It's just because it's not legal, technically, doesn't make it okay.
Yeah, let's also, I just feel like sometimes I feel like with people who are fans of idols, they think of them as like different from like Western celebrities, because like if you did this to a Western celebrity, they'd be like really fucking weirded out and everyone would be like, this is really weird for you to do. I knew someone who I will also leave unnamed who used to go and do this thing to every time Fifth Harmony landed in LA, and I was like, this is super weird. Like, why are you doing this? But like people somehow think this is like okay the second they're like an Asian idol. Is it, I don't know if this is a racism thing or like if the way that fandom works in the idol culture is a part of this or not, but like they have the same amount of humanity as Western celebrities and probably have the same anxieties and fears about crowding and about people like in their business. So they deserve the same amount of respect. And both groups probably deserve a lot more respect than we give them. So I just think it's so weird that we're like, oh, I wouldn't do this to Justin Bieber, but the second it's, Kim Tae-young, I'm gonna, bang on his car window. Like, it's just weird.
I think it's a fan culture thing. I mean, it's not like this doesn't just happen in Korea. It happens in China too with their celebrities. Looking up their flight information and like showing up. So I think it's like a fan culture thing, a difference in maybe Western and Eastern fan culture. Either way, it's really, really strange and an invasion of privacy. And it's not like cute. No one's honestly, I can't speak for everyone. Personally, I wouldn't be happy to see someone that I didn't plan on, seeing. I think I would be a little uncomfortable and scared that they knew where I was. So I just think you should sometimes think about it how you would feel as well. Like, would I be okay with somebody doing this to me? How would that make me feel? At least that's how I see it,
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
way different than just running into somebody at the airport on accident, and being excited about it. It's way different to be like, look, I got this. I remember there was that one fan, Mark in my heart, that one NCT stalker who like sits next to Mark all the time on the airplane. They do not like it. It's like really scary. But if you happen to be on the same plane as them, it's a little different. Granted, still treat them with respect, back off, don't try to take pictures with them. I hate going to the airport. I'm always tired and annoyed. Why I wouldn't want someone up in my grill trying to take a picture. So,
Yeah. And like they waved at fans maybe twice and then we're just like so in the zone, like, get me out of here. And I heard people followed them to the hotel. Like that kind of stuff is not okay. It's not okay. And like there is a big difference between a company publicly releasing like flight information for publicity and fans versus looking up that information yourself in order to follow and like get to these people. That's a completely different thing.
mm-hmm.
Like one is for publicity. It's for that purpose. You're allowed to do that. It's okay. The other is selfish and only thinking of yourself doing this thing because you want to and because you can, but not necessarily that you should. Also, we're in a pandemic. Please, to protect them, but also to protect you personally, to protect yourself. Why are you standing in a crowd of thousands of people to see people for 2 seconds as they walk through the airport and probably just want to get where they're going and rest?
Yeah, especially after they've canceled a tour, just got vaccinated or double masked up, clearly trying to set a good example. So
it's not even like in Korea, some of the celebrities are just now getting their vaccines, and you guys are seeing that happen with BTS. There's I correct me if I'm wrong, but I think America has had more access to vaccines earlier than everyone else for totally unfair reasons, and it's just like I think we need to be respectful of that as well, and like that maybe that's why they're so cautious. There hasn't been as many vaccines there as early on, so I just feel like it's a little also like self-centered and rude.
Americans.
Okay.
I can say it because I'm an American.
Because we are American.
Any British people up in here wanted to bring that up. Y'all selfish too. You took America.
British. Colonize us.
At least I don't get shot in maths class.
At Alley Food. Beans and toast.
All right. So the next topic, I brought this up that I wanted to talk about, is how everyone on K-pop Twitter really loves the Mistreatment Olympics. Which K-pop group is being the most mistreated, which member is being the most mistreated, and people fight over this. It causes fan wars. I don't know. But right now in the SM fan community, specifically, there's a huge fan war right now about mistreatment, because Red Velvet fans are saying that Red Velvet is mistreated, and some SM stans took that as a diss towards their group, particularly and Citizens. And
as a diss.
Yeah.
In Citizen.
Their idols to be more mistreated than someone else.
Well, because they're like, oh, we get a whole but like NCT gets so much content, which they do. They get so much content, and Red Velvet gets like no content at all. Like it's not, and they will say that's not fair. And then Citizens are like, you're just mad that we sold 2 million albums and you only sold blah 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 blah, and then it becomes like an argument, you know, which is also annoying because nobody was dissing you. But honestly, to the Red Velvet fans, and this might be very controversial, I have not liked or retweeted any of these tweets about the mistreatment because, frankly, I do not know what they think about this. You know what I mean? Do they perceive it as mistreatment, or are we just perceiving it as mistreatment? Because I had to think about it from, you know, a lot of these people are high school kids, and that's okay, you know, but I had to think about it as a 20-something who is also in a creative field. You know, when I think about it, Red Velvet kind of won the game when it comes to K-pop. Every time they put out a song, it's a hit in Korea, a top 10, top 5 hit. And they don't have to go on that many variety shows or music shows to make that happen. The variety shows, you know, and people are like, oh, they only went on their own variety shows. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of like, that sounds great, honestly. You know, they get to hang out with their friends and do what Red Velvet fans actually really want to see is just them interacting rather than, you know, a bunch of guys who are old enough to be their dads just hitting on them for an hour, which is what generally happens on the variety shows. And then they, you know, did some music shows, but they're not doing it to the point where, you know, like poor Taeyong from NCT, we had to beg SM basically to let him take a break so his back would heal. And I remember Joy talking about the Peekaboo era. She said, we were working so hard that I was getting nosebleeds every day. And we've all seen those compilations of K-pop idols fainting and throwing up and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, they're, you know, they get to put out a song, everyone likes it, and they don't have to like overwork themselves like this. And NCT is very clearly overworked. I don't think this is mistreatment. They're probably like,
yeah. Exactly. And there's been so many times that I see tweets where people are like, this idol is mistreated, I'm so sick of this. And it's like, just makes me roll my eyes because you kind of have to think about what the artist wants. I think that's an important conversation. In terms of Western celebrities, there's tons of artists here. I mean, people get annoyed, but you know, they don't put out albums for like 2 years, 3 years at a time, sometimes 5 years at a time. And no one really says anything. It's their prerogative. I just feel like you kind of have to think about what the artist likes. Red Velvet is like, you know, a veteran group a little bit at this point. I feel like they, you know, have certain control over certain things. They have a lot going on for themselves. They're like grown women. So I also agree with Olivia. Like, I think they are good with like just chilling out, making hits. Like, they're very established. It's not, they don't have to overwork themselves to establish themselves. They're already there. So it's kind of weird that people act like they want them to be mistreated. I think we've talked about this before, but fans project their desires onto the celebrities because they want them to be competitive, or, you know, they want them to kind of compete with other groups. So then they kind of act like the celebrities want that as well. It's not always the case. Oh, okay.
well, but that's what I agree. That's totally what I think. I just think like, you know, of course I would love to see more content from them. Oh, okay. Well, let me change to the two people. Of course I would love to see more content from them, you know, but at the same time, I don't want them to be getting nosebleeds and throwing up. And, you know, if you're really a fan, I feel like don't want to see them be overworked. You know, what happened with Taeyong was like so incredibly unacceptable. And, you know, I don't want to, if you really care about these people like you say you do, and don't just think of them as being like your little like pretty people slaves for them to dance and sing for you, you should be like, well, you know, I don't want them to be doing every single thing possible. maybe they just want to do. Maybe they did just want to show up on each other's shows. I think that's fine, and it's not like they're expressing distaste for the company at all. They just signed, 3 more years of their contract. So, they're clearly not mad at SM the way we are. And I don't know. I don't feel like I feel like because we're upset with the lack of content, therefore it's they're mistreated. I don't know. I do think one group I do have to say I do actually think is mistreated, and only because I see the way they act about it and how upset they sound, and not because of the fans, and that's Blackpink. They look like they're sick and tired of selling shit and not making music. And Rosé seems pretty pissed on her TikTok. And so I would say, like, this girl wants to sing, let her sing. They all want to perform. And they have like no songs. That seems like pretty obvious mistreatment to me, because they're upset though, because Jennie and Rosé in particular have expressed discontent with YG. That's why I feel like they're mistreated. But
yeah, the same thing happened with JYP and GOT7 before they officially left the label. You could clearly tell that there was like mismanagement and just no communication, and that like the members themselves were very tired of the situation and like wanted it remedied. Like, and if it's the artist, that makes sense. There are times when people will send trucks to these companies for things. First of all, I don't believe in the trucks. I feel like we should do away with the trucks. But, like, I feel like personally, a lot of solo stands and a lot of, I would say, like, people who are really heavy on bias within groups sometimes feel like the member they specifically like the most is mistreated. But that's simply because you want to see more of them. That's very different. You wanting to see more of them and them doing more stuff is a you thing. That's not necessarily a company thing, unless the artist itself is proclaiming like, hey, I don't get enough of this. I feel this way. Like, a lot of people take on, like, they can interpret what the artist wants, and that's simply not true. For example, a lot of armies, and I agree, I would love to get more content from Jin. I love Jin. I love his voice. I think he's a beautiful ballad singer. I would love for him to have more lines. But at the same time, I think a lot of the times armies are like, oh, Jin doesn't get enough lines. He's not put on the front burner enough. And like the company's mistreating him. Meanwhile, like Bong PD's like in Jin's kitchen cooking him dinner. And like Jin's like, oh, this is my big brother. So I'm like, who is to say really that we know the relationship that they have and like what the what the behind the scenes are? We don't know those things. And therefore, unless the artists themselves express it or tell those things, we're making assumptions, and assumptions can only take so far.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's so true. Even Solgi admires Lee Soo-man so much. She honestly brings it up all the time, how much she admires this guy. And everyone's like, fuck Lee Soo-man. First of all, he has no control over pretty much anything anymore. He's just the name, and he helps put together the groups. But for the most part, business decisions aren't him. But everyone loves to be like, I hate him, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, everyone in the groups, all the SM groups, are like, we love Lee Soo-man. He's such a genius, and I want to learn so much about him. So it's like, what you are literally projecting how much you, like, aren't happy with SM versus how much the artists aren't happy with. They're clearly, fine, especially once you're a senior at SM and you've got control. Like, the situation, it seems fine, I'm sure being a new SM group sounds like a lot of fucking work, but once you're there, they kind of were like, do you. I don't think it's I don't think people really understand necessarily what an artist would want. I would feel like, for me, if I was a K-pop idol, I would want to be able to put out music, with my group and by myself, and, do pretty much the minimum amount of extra shit that's not that as possible.
Yeah, and you can tell some idol groups, they are competitive and they do want more, but they will voice that. Like ATEEZ is the type of group that's like, we're greedy and competitive. So maybe there is. That's what they said. That's literally the word. That's verbatim what they say. We're a greedy and competitive group. We can kind of tell, and it's like, maybe there's more reason there to believe or wonder.
Well,
really,
also they're
are they being
new-ish.
mistreated? Yeah, they're newish. Of course, like, you could think that or wonder that, but just wait for the artist to say it. I also think there are certain times where, this comes down to fans not really living their own lives and having things going on. Because when you are, living vicariously through someone else's accomplishments, then you want more for them. And I feel like that's a big thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, where you're like,
especially because of how K-pop kind of works with the voting and like the music shows and everything. Like, their wins are your wins. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like, you're reading articles, you're pressing buttons, but they're like training for this. Like, they're doing vocal lessons and dance lessons and pouring their like all of their resources and themselves into this. So
watching a couple ads.
Like, dang, when is BTS actually coming back? Like, we haven't had a full album. Girl, I need, like, come on now. Like,
and an album is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and they released 3 songs. Like, I'm like, relax.
Yeah,
I'll be fine. Like,
just focus on something yourself. Like, do a project. And I'm not even saying things like touch some grass. I'm just saying, like, find your own passion. I see why idols say that so much to their fans. Like, you should go out and date. You should go out and find your own passion. Like, things like that, because that's very important for you not to be so consumed by this person.
Yeah.
And of course I could see that, like, I just know how I was in, like, middle school. Not so much high school, but, like, late middle school. How obsessed I was with, like, Twilight and the Vampire Diaries. I get it. That's part of being a 12 to 15-year-old. It's normal, but, especially when you're, like, a weird kid.
I'm dead.
Nobody wants to date me, but there's always Edward, That is very much a real situation. I understand. I was there. I relate to you. But also, when it comes down to it, artists generally are frustrated with how much the public wants them to compete. And how much, it's all about the Oscars and the award shows or the music shows and most people just want to be able to make a living off of doing the thing that they love. And that's kind of the thing they care about the most, of course, achieving things is great. And, like, shout out Queendom got like 6 or 7 like music show wins after like a year and a half of no Red Velvet. I mean, that's great, and I'm sure they felt really great about that. But I'm sure the thing they were most happy about was that they got to do an album together for the first time in a long time, and they got to spend a lot of time with together, as Red Velvet, and do some fun stuff and make music, and that's the thing they care about. I feel like they probably care about more than like, oh, I am number blah 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 on this brand index blah blah blah, and this many people liked this Naver article, and like, I just don't think they care that as much as you do about that. I really don't.
Yeah. Well, they care about the fans a lot. Like, all idols care about their fans, but I don't think we put way more pressure on being a fan and like voting for these things and like doing that than just sometimes I think even enjoying the actual art that these people are making for us. So I just think, there has to be a good balance to being a successful fan. If you are devoting your entire life to this and like letting things that actually mean something fall through the cracks just to like vote on time for certain groups and awards, and like you're not winning. Like that's not winning in my book. Like
I
They're
say
not
this as
living.
I woke up
Missing out
at
on
4
things.
o'clock in the morning to watch that damn fan meeting that cost $30.
Now I will say I have lost my fair share of sleep for an online BTS concert. I have done that, but like at the same time, it was a worthwhile sacrifice. And I understand like everyone has a different radar what's a worthwhile sacrifice to them. I just think that sometimes even that pressure of like that pressure can be transferred to the artist as well. Like even BTS talked about how being on the Billboard 100 constantly is nerve-wracking for them because they're afraid that if now that they don't chart right away that people will be like, oh, they're losing their touch. And they say that in a way it puts its own pressure on them. Like, yes, it's a success, but at the same time that comes with repercussions.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the fans maybe because the fans care so much about that thing, it adds to it. Because personally, I think that, the bigger you get, the more you're going to feel like that. Imposter syndrome is just real. I think you'll always feel like that. The more success you have, the more pressure you're going to feel. I mean, Naomi Osaka is going through it, and that's why she's taking a break from tennis. So I think that's natural, but I think the fact that the fans care so much about those little achievements really adds to it and maybe makes them feel even more pressure and like they should really care, and that can be harmful.
It's interesting that you bring up an athlete in this because I think a lot of people think of this as like a team sport that they're rooting for,
True.
and it's really, as much as music shows and winning and that stuff is fun, at the end of the day, it's really not a competition. It is, being there to support someone doing doing something that is really difficult. Being a K-pop idol is not, and being a pop star in general, being any kind of creative field and being that big and that successful at it is not. And you're supposed to be there to support that endeavor and not necessarily to be like kissing your own ass about like, oh, they sold this many albums and they're on this part of it. Of course that stuff is like great and important in terms of like getting them to be able to make more music and to continue going forward, but like it's also not, it's not like March Madness or anything. Like nobody's a winner, there's just gonna keep being more music and more, it's really not a competition. It is, and we can take those music shows to show that how much we appreciate them and things, but it shouldn't necessarily feel like you're competing via them and like if they win, I win, like a weird sports fan kind of thing. It's like sports fans being like, we won. I'm like, you sat on the couch while LeBron did the work. You did not. You did not.
Even things as simple as like streaming. Like people go around guilting people like you weren't streaming like the right way, or you weren't like at home on like you were at work when people were actually streaming. Like, okay, some people, like, we have to live lives. There are things that we have to do in order to like survive. One. So like on a Wednesday, if they release music, no, I cannot sit on my couch with my laptop and my phone and my TV all streaming. Like I can't do that.
Yeah, I promise
and that
you,
doesn't
damn
make me a
June doesn't
bad
care
fan.
either.
Like that doesn't make me a bad fan. I should be listening to music because I want to be. Obviously, like it's fun to achieve goals and to get like, oh, the most viewed music video and so. That's fun. That's really nice. Like that's cool. I love being like, yeah, I was a part of that. I was definitely streaming. Like I've streamed before and it can be fun, but you have to make it fun. And sometimes when you get really, really tired of listening to something over and over and you need to take a break, that's okay. That there should not be a, you're not streaming, this is your fault, you didn't try hard enough. Like, no, this is, if it's negative, stop. Like, also, that's it.
If I was an artist, I don't know how I would feel necessarily about the whole streaming thing, because I would want people to be listening to the song and it to be popular naturally because people like it, and not just because my fans are my fans and they just did it because they feel some kind of weird moral obligation to like keep refreshing the page. You know what I mean? Like, I would feel like, do people really like me for my music, or do they like me because I'm like good looking and then they can like get this achievement off of me as well? I would feel like some kind of like, I don't know, confusion, and also some kind of like questioning of my talent and all that kind of stuff too, if that was like, you know, I felt like that was the only thing people were interested in me for. I don't know. Does that make sense?
I agree. I would probably feel the same way.
You know?
I will say that, like, usually it's nice because there are a lot of BTS fans in general.
Yeah.
So it's not that concerning to me. And I feel like their numbers across the boards and sales and like tickets for concerts and blah, 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 they're all pretty much the same. So clearly they just have a lot of fans, and obviously their fans are really devoted, and that's a beautiful thing. I do think it's a beautiful relationship. Obviously there's just some fine tuning that needs to be done, but that's in everything.
That's true. As I mentioned, I'm a Star Wars fan and a gamer. I know what bad fandoms are like.
Exactly.
K-pop isn't that bad compared to those two.
Yeah, and when it comes to it, like, there's always good and bad in everything. Mm-hmm. And fan culture is, of course, one of those things where you can always find the really good and you can always find the really terrible.
Absolutely.
So.
But yeah. All right. We ready to move on to some reactions?
Yes. Let me put my headphones. Hold on, guys.
Don't worry.
I'm ready now.
Okay, first up, we've got the new music video for Deja Vu by AT. KQ. Ooh, why has everything got something going through the sewer right now in K-pop?
I know.
I was like,
look at Song.
Irene's gonna be down there.
This is crazy because this look is very different from their usual music videos. It's way more stylistic, like even the color.
It really is, but I really like it. Like,
yeah, it's a good change.
I also don't feel like they use a warmer color palette normally, so it's nice to see all these blues.
Yeah, usually it's just like very saturated, really black. Like kind of, yeah, warm and vibrant.
I like what they're doing with the lights. I'm always wondering if they're probably like, since they're in the sound stage, it's probably programmed to like flash at those moments. But I can't help but wonder if it's like a gaffer with like a dimmer, like doing it manually to the beat.
Linky.
King.
Yo, Song 12 with this ponytail he has in that part. Wow. Oh, look at him. He's so fine.
This is a good song too.
No, I love this song.
Yeah, I really hope they continue with the way that these videos are done. It's like more budget, but at the same time, I don't know. Maybe it's just a different like feel for directing. Who knows?
I will say, I also love how heavy this song is, like a San chorus. You know I love San. I love a San chorus.
Oh yeah.
That ending was really good. I remember really liking the transition.
Yeah, see what I mean? This is so different. This is tight. Oh, I feel like this is You remember that video where they had those hats?
Yeah.
What was that? What video was that?
Holla Holla? Was it Holla Holla?
Yeah.
Oh, I love this part.
They're such good performers.
I know. They just
Look
so
at
much.
Songhwa. Look at Songhwa. Everyone look at Songhwa. Oh my god.
I love them. Oh my god.
I love the rain too. Very dramatic.
Mingy.
Yes, Mingy.
They're
In
just
this
like
video alone, I've been kicked in the face 3 times. It's great.
the rain. They're so good.
Deja vu.
Definitely
loves
my
doing
favorite. Yeah. Yeah.
As they should. That part
My
where Songhwa
favorite
was like,
release.
I felt that in my bones. Like I felt it.
Ooh.
This whole part I was curious about.
Well, I
Yes,
know they
I
do the hourglass a lot at AT stuff.
My favorite release of the week, because there was like a few artists that released a lot of new stuff. So that was my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up we've got Juyeon from The Boys, Artist of the Month. Juyeon is my new The Boys bias, so I'm very excited. I've changed biases, I know.
Yeah.
But I love him. He's just so fine.
This is cool. This is a cool look. Oh my god. By the way, is Studio Chim run by Mnet?
I think so. I think it is. I don't think it used to be, but I think it is now.
It is now. Yeah, they're great.
Ooh. Is this Billie Eilish?
Yeah.
We didn't know that whisper anywhere.
I saw this tweet that was like, we're watching Billie Eilish become Courtney Love right in front of our eyes, and I lost it.
I love his slow-mo moves in this. It's so good.
Silence is my favorite sound. Watch me make them bow one by one, one by one. Count my cards, watch them fall.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I like the way they all.
Really cool song to dance to. There's like a lot of potential for like movement, I guess. This is so cool.
You say, come over, baby. I think you're pretty.
He moves is very interesting.
Ooh.
I'm okay.
Yeah, his isolations are really good.
Think I'm pretty.
Ooh, that was cool.
You should see me in the crowd.
This part.
There's nothing to do. Watch me
Ooh.
make them bow one by one, one by. You should see me in the crowd. Your silence is my favorite sound. Watch me make them bow one by one, one by one.
Cool. That was cool.
I know when there's nothing to do. Watch me make them bow one by one.
I love Juyeon.
That
Wow.
looks like Key's hair in Don't Call Me.
Yo, he got little feathers in it. I was-
Oh, true. Oh my god, I love it.
Key's impact.
Even when he didn't want the impact to be there.
I know. Can we take this off now?
Right. Like, bitch, y'all got me these feathers. Good job, Gian.
Love
That was-
Juyeon.
That was amazing. I love The Boys.
I just think like I'm really glad they're starting to get more recognition. Honestly, I'm excited for when people start to see like some lesser known members. I feel like we see so much of the visuals in The Boys. So I would love to see like something
man's
like
Kevin.
Songyeon does solo. I would. Kevin kills it. Like, I just love to see like some of
Eric's
the members. Of the boys. I
visuals,
really want Hugh, who's also their main dancer, who's actually like their main dance leader, to get a chance to do Artist of the Month sometime. I think it'd be amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love Artist of the Month. It's been really fun to watch the dancers of every group just get a real chance to shine.
Yeah, no, I really like it too. I think it's like, I'm excited for like who's next. I always like to know who they choose, and then once they do, I always have to watch the little intro video.
Mm-hmm. I have like a list of people I would love to see do it, like Momo, Lisa.
The top of the list is Taemin, but Momo is definitely on my list.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love Momo.
Dolgi, basically all the girl dancers. I'm like, please, but I would, yeah, Taemin would kill it. But I feel like Taemin just doing a solo song and then coming on Studio Choom anyways would just be sick too.
Yeah, well, his advice, Studio Choom, I watch that like every Thursday just because.
Every Thursday.
Every
That was
Thursday,
just a
so
random
random.
day. I literally just watch it at least like twice a week.
That's such a song. Thank you for making that song.
Thank you.
Everyone that worked on that song, thank you.
Can we talk about how Taemin and Baekhyun put out like some of the best songs of their career and then just went deuces?
I know. Military. Like, what is that? What is that?
Yeah,
Being a military wife is so tough.
Bro, y'all be okay. I know Olivia sees what I be posting on Taemin. I just be like, just. And then it got worse because I watched DP, which is like this new drama that's like supposed to be like obviously very dramatic version of like what actually goes on in the military and the hazing they undergo. And you know, there was a little Taemin controversy with the shower thing. I was very upset. I had to watch lots of Taemin cute videos to calm down because I was like, what if my man is going through it?
Yeah, but I don't think Baekhyun's going through it because he's just like doing like traffic or something.
He already moved his shower time though. He did move his shower time.
Oh, good. Ugh. All right. Next up, we've got Lehigh HSKT. Skylar is a big Lehigh fan, so
I love her. You should also watch the live version of this song. There's a live performance. It's great.
I'm already vibing with this.
The feature on the song is really great too.
Who is it?
I don't really know his name, but I know his voice. It's a really great.
Did the song with B.I.
That one's good too. That video's nice as well. But I just like this guy's voice.
I love the look of this video.
Yeah. It's like really blue.
Looks like all those like cool Asian like 90s like romance movies we like.
Yeah.
How's that girl's hair so curly?
That's a boy and that's the feature.
I'm so sorry.
Even I knew that was a man. You are disrespectful.
I know the lyrics.
But that's a perm, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's obviously a perm.
I was like, damn, Kenny G out here. Alright, I'm sorry, I gotta stop.
You gotta play.
He has a beautiful voice, though.
I know.
That's what I mean.
Very different
Beautiful
voice.
Yeah, that's why I like this. It's a good feature.
so cool. That's the way the split screen changed into one shot. Not there being an earthquake.
I know.
My
now they're,
LAS
rose petals.
cannot handle that.
Traumatized.
The big one's coming.
Oh, you're singing.
Right?
So good.
Dang. Yeah, I would love to hear more voices like his.
This is such a vibe. I love this song.
Yeah, both of their voices are very, I guess, unique in that audience. Great voices.
Oh, that was so good.
Gee.
Queen. Ah! I have to listen to this whole album now.
Yeah, you will like it. It's really good.
All right.
Really, really good.
Next up, we've got our Buff Kings, Wadho, with his new video, Blue.
The song is really good.
It always cracks me up when they play football in these videos because you know damn well nobody's playing football outside of America.
But, and rightfully so.
Rightfully so. It's a weird sport.
Guys, you say that like I didn't just get home from a football game for my little cousin. Relax.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, boy. I mean, it's a valid.
It's a valid sport, but
too.
just, I don't, there's a reason why nobody outside of America plays it.
It's just dangerous, but you know what? Go sit, little cousin.
You know, just wear your helmet.
It was crazy.
It's all in the blue. 그수의 나에게도 모든 게 아름다워 누구도 못 말려 우린 자유로워 out of control. Can you feel?
But he's also the first K-pop idol to do a football video that's actually big enough to be a football player.
I know.
That's true.
It's like, I'm watching Love Me Right, and my man's Baekhyun is in his football uniform. Like, you are not playing football. I love you, Baekhyun.
Never forget when they put Jungkook in the pads just for like
Oh yeah, just the pads.
part 2 video.
I was like, what? Why? Like, why?
5. Look at how they washed that car.
Ooh, Wonho.
I like the white outfit. That's cute.
This whole song is really, really cute to me. I love his sparkly behind doors.
He looks so good blonde.
Guys, we gotta listen to another ocean-inspired song by Jin Young. Have you seen his cover? Not his cover. It was a song he made.
God.
Anyway, look.
Right? Dive?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really good.
it's so good. Can we add that or no?
It's from a while ago, but we can add it. I've seen it.
Next time, maybe.
Let's watch it. I mean, we can watch after.
Yeah.
I love Wonho, and this song is so cute.
Oh, he's so cute and just.
I love him. Now show
Wow.
more of him in that white outfit, please.
Not all of us can suck into this.
We're so
We're all like, yeah, we're like, we are young. We are dumb. We will like.
Not Olivia with the white
Not the
girl.
white girl. No, I just look over and I'm like vibing, and I see all you guys like. I'm like, damn, he really got us. He's pretty good.
You know, that's the one thing about going to predominantly white institutions your whole life is you really know how to do this.
I just love Wonho, and that song is just so cute and like fun to me that I've been really like. I went on a walk, bro. I swear, the sky got bluer, the grass was greener. I was listening to Blue. Like,
My pecs got bigger. My abs got tighter.
I actually had boobs for once. Like, Wow.
Like,
The impact of that song.
The impact of the song. My acne cleared, my depression healed.
done.
Suddenly I was Wonho and could like squat 300 pounds, you know.
It's normal stuff.
Next up, we've got Surfin' by Stray Kids. I think it's Changbin, Felix, and like 2 others. But it's in Korean on the title,
You
so
said
I can't.
Felix?
Yeah, Felix is
I'm
Wait, there's a shot. I was putting this link in, and there was a shot of Felix that came up, and I was like,
These are all like cool dudes. These are the cool dudes in Stray Kids too.
Look at my baby go. He's so cute.
You know, Changbin, Felix, decent dudes.
I actually really like these people. Like, these are like my favorite Stray Kids members.
Exactly. These are like the cool.
He looks so cute in this. I'm obsessed.
I like what he's saying. I like what he's saying.
Oh,
Oh, is that Lino?
that's Lino, yeah.
I love
There's
Lino.
Changbin.
He's so cute.
Hey!
Oh, it's so nice to see a light concept by Stray Kids.
Okay, I love this song. What? Oh, this makes me wanna.
Bro, you don't understand. These little cars these K-pop idols be having make me want one.
Same. I'm gonna take one from a little kid at Toys R Us. They'll be like, "This is for me." I'm like, "Nah, this is for me."
Are you buying this for your niece? No, screw my niece.
Fuck my niece. Fuck them kids. I'm trying to feel like I'm in the ice cream music video.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm living simply for all of the Felix content.
I love
Damn, this
Oreo.
man's getting it on the end. Do you see that man on the right?
No.
The backup dancer?
Oh wow.
He is like,
Oh, he's so fine.
oh, it's like a big switch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a great shot. I love that.
Okay, thank God. This is like very
This
lighthearted.
is so cute, and they actually look like they're having fun, and I love everything about it.
Yeah, and it's so relaxed. And there's people dancing in the back. More concepts like this, please, for K-pop.
Anything where Felix gets to
Yes.
be adorable? Yes, please. Ah, there he is.
That was cute.
Baby.
I
Thank you.
Oh my
love
god.
that.
Oh, you know I love their slogan. Stray kids around the world, you make us stay. That was so clever, whoever came up with that.
Stray
Stray
Kids.
Kid.
Any group where you could say the name in the song, that's what's up.
True,
It's girls. It's going down.
Nothing is going to be not shy, it's a
That, yes.
freaking love that.
Yeah, JYP
Like,
kind of
yeah.
kills it at that.
It's
Yeah.
so crazy because I was listening to it on the train, and when I tell you, I was like having a hard time. I was like, I know if I'm like in the middle of New York listening to this song, and I'm just like, it's it. Everyone's gonna be like, what the fuck?
Honestly,
like,
that wouldn't
it
be the weirdest thing anyone's seen on the train in New York at all.
Oh,
Like by
for
a long
sure.
shot.
You are correct. I'm just saying, like me personally, I don't like when people look at me anyways, but I was really on the inside, like I was fucking it up on that train on the inside.
Yeah. It's just like the mean like group of like Brooklyn kids like standing would just like make fun of you like really loud for the
Specifically the
whole
7th grade girls, and that's terrifying. Okay, like the 7th grade girls with like the ripped jeans that are like super skin tight jeggings and like the J's with like the white beaters, and they'll just be like staring at me, and they'll be like,
this fucking bitch. Like,
well, I know they making fun of people. Those white beaters.
Yes, girl. And they be on the train just like just looking at you. And I'll be like, damn, like I ain't even do nothing, but like my bad. Like,
Right.
those are the type of girls you sneeze in their direction, they're like, what the fuck you sneezing for? And you're like, you know what? I don't know.
I don't know why I'm sneezing.
Like,
I'm sorry, I have allergies and just
I don't know.
that's my fault. It's on me.
they're like, why are you as an old ass bitch?
I don't know.
I'm like,
Why are you as an adult breathing in my direction, old ass bitch?
exactly. And I would be like, wow, you know, I don't have an answer for you. That's crazy. Like,
All right.
What's
and
next?
finally, the song of the week.
I've been waiting for this one.
Ooh,
I'm going to.
I can't. That is up. We've got NCT sticker.
This is not a good idea. Okay.
Oh, hold on. I gotta make sure you gotta hear the whole recorder part. I'm not, you know.
When N Citizens post it, and we're like, oh,
Yeah, I gotta make.
please.
We gotta all. I gotta see your faces.
I'm trying to keep it together. The piano part is actually killing me.
The
Like,
production,
No,
girl,
but it's-
every time.
it's so,
For me, it's the you know, like between the flute sections.
it's that piano for me. That like, what is that? I feel like I'm like in a bad movie. Like, this is like a meme.
I show you the meme that it sounds like because I was like, wait, this sounds really familiar. Like I've heard this before. And it was a meme.
It sounds like
No,
all those
y'all
really
saw
bad jokes.
After Skylar put in the first reaction video, the one I put in, I was like, it sounds exactly like that. You can't tell me it don't sound exactly like when LeBron was in his backyard jamming to that terrible fucking whatever song they put over it.
All those meme instrumentals, it sounds like that, especially the piano. It's like out of tune.
All right. Should I like quit and like come back and see if that works? It might be me.
Are we still frozen?
Yeah, I'll come back.
Okay.
Okay, I can now. And now I can't see anybody. Oh, there's Skylar.
You can't see me?
Yeah, I saw you and then you disappeared.
I didn't go anywhere.
Okay.
I can see all of you. Everyone. Yeah.
I could see you guys.
What about now?
I just get the little turny thingies.
I'm not gonna lie, this song is sending me. It sounded worse the second time because I only watched it once.
I've seen like a
I'm just
million memes.
I'm just waiting for Johnny to come up so I can talk about how sexy he is.
If you hear the ear, like, if you listen to it with earphones, because I tried to do that just to see, like, if I was tripping, I literally changed my opinion from worst K-pop song to worst song of the year after listening to it with, like, headphones.
You not to do it. I told you not to. You were like, maybe it'll be better with headphones. And I was like, don't. And then you did anyways.
It was significantly worse with headphones.
I
You're
have
right.
headphones in right now. It was bad. Literally, Taeyoung came in and it was bad. It was bad. It's bad from the start, but then Taeyoung came in and it sounded worse. And I was like, damn, they got my mans messed up.
All right. I'm going to try one more time.
Someone said, because did you see their article on Billboard where they said they were, like, really nervous about putting this album out? And everybody, and all the replies were so mean. They were like, well, I see why. And they were like, see, they knew. And someone was like, I told y'all. And they had made a tweet that said, like, I know they were shaking and throwing up after coming out the studio because they were probably just nervous. Like, yeah, it was that production was bad. Mm. Is Olivia? Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there. I was just like doing some technical difficulty shit. Okay, let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
All right.
I can't believe you're making me listen to this more than once.
Now y'all know damn well the person who produced that is experienced. He produced. I'm not gonna say the song thing now, but he has produced songs for them before, and they weren't like that. So I'm not sure what happened.
When I first heard this, I was a little under the influence, and I made a list of songs I wanted to apologize to after I heard this song.
Oh my god.
Number 1 is Ice Cream by Blackpink. When I first heard that song, I didn't like it. Now I love it. And I'm so sorry. I apologize to you after listening to the song. I would very much like to apologize to Next Level by aespa. That is the song of the year. I'm very sorry that I didn't like that song at first. Anything I said about that song, I take back. Ning Ning, you went off on that novice calling part. And woo, after this song, I would like to apologize to you.
People were comparing it to this song and they were like, it'll grow on you, just
I'm
like
like,
that.
no.
Personally, I liked Next Level the first time I heard it. I could hear the potential. And it's like, this makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Next Level didn't make me feel uncomfortable.
I don't want to hear an N Citizen say anything about Zimzalabim ever again. Gotta keep
When
that
I tell
to yourself.
you, this song, like when they're like, ooh, all the bells and whistles, it had all the bells and whistles, but not the right ones.
It just had
like,
bells and whistles.
That was a broken ass down bell y'all had going. Like that whistle was very off pitch.
All the TikToks about this song are killing me, but there's this one meme that this song sounds just
that Squidward one was.
No, the Squidward one.
I was crying.
They're like, guess who's on this track? And it was Squidward playing the clarinet.
They're like, you won't believe this feature.
Right. I was like, yeah, that shit is kind of accurate too.
I know NCT's up in the dorm too, laughing at all these memes. Like, I know they think this is funny.
I mean, I don't know, you either gonna laugh or cry. Personally, I'm gonna laugh.
I'm not even gonna lie. I still don't get why it's called Sticker either.
Sticker. Because Mark says it at
like
the end.
Sticker.
That's why. If Mark says it's called Sticker, it's called Sticker.
It is called Sticker. It is. You know, they have. NCT is a very interesting group. I will say, NCT to me is such an amusing and entertaining group, and they're all so talented.
I'm about to hang up. No, I can't.
No, they're so.
They are such a clown show.
They're not a clown show. Stop it.
Stop. I said they are entertaining and talented.
You said, I mean, not, I'm sorry, bleep the N word out. She said amusing and entertaining, and that's what killed me. Now, we all like NCT, we're just playing, but that is.
Exactly. I love NCT. You saw how many times I was talking about Johnny. Johnny is literally.
Yeah, we liked it.
We love NCT.
But like, I can't.
It's just as I feel like if as citizens, and especially because that was the first K-pop group that they ever tried to really introduce me to was NCT. Mm-hmm. And I have so much respect for them, but I will say their title tracks usually are not my type of thing. Like they're not my type of thing.
I just don't understand
and
why
therefore it was very hard for me to listen to those title tracks. The B-sides are good, but this song in particular, this song, I don't know what's worse, this or Mad Dog.
I agree.
I just don't understand how you go from Superhuman to this, because Superhuman is a bop. And Regular is a bop.
Regular is a bop. Superhuman.
No, Regular is a bop. I don't really care for Superhuman.
Oh, I love
it. But you know, I like Superhuman more than I like this.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
This is the meme. I thought it sounded.
Where would you put Simon Says on this list, Sky?
Above this? What you mean? Like
Exactly.
above this.
Does
Yes.
that not sound like it?
That's it. Yeah.
Is that the LeBron meme I sent you?
No, that's another one.
Is this
Play
the
the
guy?
play the
Oh, yeah,
LeBron
that's-
one. Play the LeBron one from the group chat right now. Right now.
Dun, dun, dun.
Expeditiously.
It's the same song. That's the one.
Play the LeBron one.
That's the
and then
LeBron
play
one.
the
I just played it. It's the
No,
same.
it's not.
That's not the one I sent. No.
Oh.
It's the one before that. It's the one I sent
then-
before that.
And then play the one before that.
I can't even hear it. Yes, it's that one.
I don't hear anything.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
She said yes. Okay, I'm done. Yeah, let me get off because this is just getting because not Sid going. And play the one before that, and y'all tell us that it's not giving.
Olympia's over here.
But you can't tell us that it's not giving that. Are we mean for saying what it is?
No, but
Like, that's what it sounds like?
Citizens are on the same page as us. There were citizens out here apologizing to Stays about calling their music noise music after the it was just like all over to everybody, and then people are like, I'm out here fighting for my life, trying to Stockholm syndrome myself into liking this.
No one liked it. No one liked it.
Literally on Twitter, they brought up that one tweet that went viral, like I want to say a year or two ago, where they were like, if I was an artist, I would release a fucking terrible ass song just to watch my fans struggle to defend it on Twitter.
Yeah.
I would wait until I was like, yeah, this sounds like it'll get my fans bullied. Drop it. Like,
That's what's
literally.
happened. SM were like, let's see how far we can push the limits of NCT, and they did.
let's see how much they really care about these boys. Because
truthfully, I think it was a loyalty test. It was just
it's proof that boy group stands will stick through with anything.
I'm just joking. No, I just think
if Red Velvet put that out, I think everyone would have left.
I think it was to experiment. I understand this whole limitless concept they got going with NCT, but that's not how you do it.
I'm gonna put a limit on recorders.
I'm just saying, like,
they got BMU from TXT to play the recorder for them.
I saw this video of like J-Hope playing the recorder, and they put this song
from his nose. Yes, they got J-Hope playing the recorder from his nose.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's the wah, like right after that.
The LeBron one is just, I can't.
But it really does sound like that one. It's like bam, 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 boom, boom.
No, play the one before that with the pianos, because that's how the piano sounded to me the first time I heard it.
And I was this is like a 20-minute reaction video. What are they doing? And it's just us.
It's so accurate. That's how the piano.
This is what it looked like in the studio.
Yeah.
Lee Soo Man's the one with the big bottle of water. Like Timbaland, he go.
Wait, y'all, because this is what I was telling y'all. Subin and BMU played the recorder on the song. This is the proof.
I can't hear it. Sid is just dancing in silence, and then I hear a random recorder sound every like 2 seconds.
It's just you can't push something like that out. And the way it started, I mean, it started with the recorder. I'm like, were you thinking, like, who's gonna like that? The way it started, it sounds so unappealing. Like,
I just don't understand. SM has like the best lineup of songwriters, and then this is the one that they picked. And I know this person probably writes some good songs too. And they were probably like, let me see if I can send in a shit post, what they'll do. And they're like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, every idea.
I'm dead because I need to examine what Skylar just said. She said, why would you sell me shit and actually tell me it was shit from the start?
What? Man, did I say that? Did I say that? Did I say that? I was just saying, if you
And
can give
why
us
would you started off telling me it was bad?
I'm just saying, like, at least let that pop in at a part. If you're gonna experiment with something like that risky, just put in a little. For you to be so bold to start off with that recorder.
I also want to mention they got rid of this, but at first there was a typo in one of the signs in the music video that says like turn around, but they spelled it trun around.
The whole thing was just, it was a lot. Running around.
Wow.
They spelled it wrong. They fixed it, but there was a typo and all this shit going on. A mess. A whole mess.
I mean, much love to NCT, but don't do that again. I feel. But you know, actually it's their sound, their music. They want to experiment. Yep. I get it.
I told you BMU. I told you it's BMU. I told you he was playing that recorder. I told you.
Just our opinions. I just don't like it.
Someone made that Photoshop this tweet that said, maybe it'll grow on you, Annika.
It probably won't for me. I just don't like the song, but that's just the one song of their, well, not the one.
The rest of the album is fine.
Actually.
Well, it's not just, you know, some of their other title tracks, you know, we don't feel those either, but this is one that I don't think I could see myself ever listening to. But
yeah,
much love to NCT.
No, it's definitely a meme song. But
yeah,
you know, when I thought that Jopping was as bad as it could get, I was very wrong.
Facts. Nah, Jopping sound kind of good next to that one.
I was like, damn.
Because when we jumping and we hopping,
we
like, because we jopping.
At least they got the most iconic lyric of all time in there.
That is it's kind of like iconic.
That lyric. Yeah, exactly. I was like, damn, you got really the most, like, some of the best talent ever in SM. Put them in a group and had them sing that. Iconic.
It just made, with this song, it just made me annoyed, only because I can't even make it sound like, oh, this is camp, this is iconic, this is ironic. It's so unappealing to listen to that you can't even be like, it's so bad that it's good. Like, it's just bad. Like, you know? Like, that's kind of...
And they're so talented. That's the part that makes it worse, you know?
Yeah.
That's a lot of SM groups. I just think they choose the wrong songs, honestly, for their title tracks. Honestly, like, because I listened to all of the mood samplers. We watched all the mood samplers for NCT's new album, and we really liked them.
Yeah.
But it's the ones they always get us with them title tracks. I think they think it's funny, and it is low key. It's kind of funny.
I just think they like to go for sounds that they think are really going to, like, hit the listener. They just want a really...
Well, they want the dance part to go hard on the title track because that's the one they're going to get a music video for, which I understand, and that's fine, but, like, I just, like, can't you put, like, a dance part on, like, a song that, like, is good? Like, the choreo for Lolo, yes. I'm going to keep bringing up Lolo just because that song is so good. Okay, they're all NCT.
That song is so good.
There are dance songs that are good.
You can have, like, a hard-hitting dance part, you know. I think that's kind of what NCT's kind of gotten... Yes! NCT's kind of gotten known for their hard dance parts. You can do that on a song that doesn't have to sound messy, you know?
And all over the place. I love Drunken... Is that what's called? Drunken Days by Hyphen? That's, like, my favorite dance K-pop song, or at least one of them. That song is so beautiful. It's a really, really great song.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Also, just a reminder, because this tweet came up on my timeline, to all the armies watching, please be mature on the UNGA YouTube live stream comments. It's not V Live or an award show. So do not spam Where's BTS or Bora Hey or Purple Hearts. This is the United Nations. This has been a PSA.
That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. I'm sorry. Hey, please don't do that. I don't even care what y'all do, but I think I would be embarrassed if y'all did that.
I would be, but also I think it would be so funny considering the kind of BS that the UN kind of is. I mean, they don't really do it.
True. Good point.
Sorry.
But they are standing for something important. Like, I think they're going there to speak about Asian hate speech and all type racism, maybe. So,
Agio for world hunger.
Maybe keep it mature, like Sid, because of that. Keep it mature.
I know. It's definitely going to be about racial discrimination. They already tweeted that that's the content of the speech.
Oh God.
Yes. So please, y'all, please don't do this. Please don't embarrass me. Please, in the middle of these professional philanthropists, be like, Park Jimin's prettier than you. I will find you. I will do it.
Sydney's the angel on your shoulder and I'm the little devil on your shoulder. Agio for climate change. Do it. Say Park Jimin would want you to clean up the planet.
God. Anyway.
All right, that's it for this episode of SOCS. Please disregard my bad advice.
Remember, these are just our opinions, and we love all of these groups.
We do love all of these groups. Every group we watched today is a group we really like. So, and soloists, we love Lehigh too. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, please give us a like and subscribe. If you have any ideas of things you'd like to hear us talk about, you'd like to hear our opinions on, let us know. We'd love to hear it. We'd love to answer any questions that you guys have, because I'd love to interact with y'all in the comments. So it'd be fun if you guys have any ideas or things you'd love to share. And yeah, make sure to subscribe to us and follow us on our whatever podcast listening service you're doing. It helps us out, and it makes us motivated to keep doing it more when we see that people are watching us. It's very fun. And yeah, that is it. And we'll see you next week. Toodles.
No, not toodles.
Bye. Toodaloo.
Ew.